Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Gamer's Thoughts video. And I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch as a home console. And people are probably going to be like, what? Why? Well, Andre, we know you can play it at home, but it's a hybrid. It is and it isn't. It is because of the fact that you can take it away from your home, but it isn't because you don't play games in the same manner for the most part as you do with an actual handheld. Yes, you can play with your Switch in handheld mode for just about every game that's going to be out on it. I don't think there are very many that don't have it. I know there's got to be at least one, but for the most part, every game can be played in handheld mode. But that's not the same as playing your games as if they were not mobile, as if they were handheld games. See, here's the thing. Handheld games require you to have multiple consoles, like with the 3DS, or I could say the Vita, or any other handheld. If you were to play multiplayer, that requires more than one unit. With the Nintendo Switch, you're not required to have more than one unit. So if somebody decided they were going to load up a game like Mario 3 on the Nintendo Switch, they have two controllers from jump with the Joy-Cons. All you have to do, split them up, turn them sideways, and you've got your two controllers to play your game in multiplayer from the singular device. That is not something that your handhelds can do. Your handhelds don't come apart and say, oh, hey, we're going to share the screen and you can each can play with the side of the system as a controller. It doesn't work that way. Another thing to think about is the fact that your controllers still operate like they would for a home console, no matter where you have this thing, no matter where you take it with you, it still operates like a home console. You can set up your Switch and tabletop mode out in public and still use your controller like a normal controller or like a Wii remote and nunchuck. You can still use them in those ways. You can always still pull out a Pro controller and play with it like that. Same concept. It still works like a home platform. It doesn't work as it like a mobile or handheld platform. It's still working in the same manner it would if it was plugged into the dock and hooked to your TV. It still operates the same way. So for me, looking at the Switch, yes, I do consider it a hybrid because of its capability to be taken away from the television and away from your home and still play the exact same games. But it's not a handheld in the traditional sense that it does things that handhelds do. Look at the 3DS, for example. You have Street Pass, which allows you to connect and share information with other players back and forth just by passing by each other with your units on you. You get the coins that you can build up by just walking around that allow you to use things inside games for just exercising. That's not something that the Switch gives you. Those aren't options that the Nintendo Switch gives you because you can't put the Switch in a backpack or carry it around in your pocket and it be in a sleep mode and still get bonuses from it or pass by and share information with other players. It does not do that. And again, you don't need two Switches together to be able to play multiplayer on any sort of any game that offers it, unless there's just like some specific controller requirements with other people. You can share those experiences for the most part without having to take away from what is already there. Or add to what is already there, I should say. Gosh, that's the takeaway. You can still have those experiences without having to add to what's already there for the Switch. It's already built into the console. It's already conceived as part of the console. It's already part of the philosophy of the console. And that's something people need to understand. And just because it operates this way does not mean that the Nintendo Switch has to have every game that the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One have to have. Because each console needs its own unique, dedicated experiences. That's how they thrive. That's how they do well. That's how they sell for others to want them. That's how you draw attention to them. Because I know somebody would be like, well, if it's considered it's really just a home console, why don't they just have all the home console games of all the other platforms? Because that's why. They should have different and unique experiences from third parties as well as from the first parties. That's just, at least that's how I look at it. I mean, then again, I grew up in an era where that was the thing back in the day, where you were like, oh, shoot, you got that Game Boy Genesis? I mean, I got the Super Nintendo version. Let's play them back and forth, see what's different between them. Or, oh, shoot, you got Ninja Turtles, 4 Turtles in Time, and I got Hyperstone Heist at home, dude. Like, that's the, and like, yes, and those experiences were unique to themselves, even though they were very similar. So for me, that should not be a qualifier to say that the Switch has to have every game, every third-party game that the Xbox One and PS4 have. I mean, yeah, it would be nice, but it doesn't have to be that way. It's just my point. But I think I've really covered everything that this subject really needs. There's not a whole lot more to really say about it, honestly, in the first place. Like, but that was just my thoughts. This is just the way I was rolling about it, and I was looking at it. I was like, when you really think about it, it's still a home platform, no matter where you play it. Like, you can play your Switch outside in a park; it's still a home platform. You can play your Switch in the toilet at work; it's still a home platform. You're still playing home platform games with home platform functionality. Like, yeah, there's a couple additional built-in things, like connecting your Switches to each other directly, but that's just playing on LAN. That's a LAN party. That's stuff that PC's been doing for a long time. It's not anything new. Yeah, it's just wireless, but it's not new. It's something that we've already been doing. So it still operates and functions in the thought process of being something you do on a home platform, at a home platform capacity. So that's basically where I was going with that. Anybody else wants to share their thoughts or give the counter argument, play devil's advocate for me, go ahead, do so down in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out. And if you would like, join my Discord server. Link is down in the description.